There's a slight typo. Your best ear ever.
Oh.
Thank you. Supposed to be your laughter, right?
I know I'm not a good listener, but are you trying to tell me something here?
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Let's see if I can.
See if I can get out of that. Let's refresh this.
Is this us?
Yeah, this is us. Package. No.
I got a new car. Wow.
Do you?
I got a welcome card.
Just in case the paper wasn't quite, sufficient, I figured no one's gonna grab my key. No, my daughter had strep this Christmas. She's still sick. She's like, I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm like, shoot. Carol, take this with your. Do you? Strep? No? It's too painful, right?
Oh, yeah.
You get food too.
I didn't ask you. I used to be in the office, but a lot of it.
I think it's a great idea. You're very out of the box. I love it. He really is.
They're going to take it away.
Yeah.
They arrange more.
Yeah, you don't want it to be a generic one.
Let's do that.
Or you add like a little bit of chocolate or something to it.
Yes.
With your card.
Because like, how are you seeing the coffee?
Yeah.
So is this something that you do on
Chocolate press.
They do it for Remembrance Day. They do it on Thursday. They did it at.
I don't. I'm not sure.
We should have to do that.
Yeah, but
That
that's
went over.
needed.
I didn't do it before.
I am. I saw her and I got calls at a coffee shop every Tuesday or something. And a little pregnant there. Coffee is doing that coffee shop. I didn't know if I would do anything in the office.
Yeah.
For sure. So never even learned that. So why don't you
Yes, so.
Let me know how that goes.
I'm really not. Nice to meet you.
Or even, what you decide, did you decide
Go by
on
both names, but
No, we'll do it today.
No.
how that's a good idea.
It's a Lenny. It's a retirement, yeah.
Wait, we can really.
Yeah, you, oh, my name.
Oh.
It is. Are you based out of this office?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you?
Especially small.
I'm in, the Kennedy office.
There's a lot of this. A lot of this.
It's so,
If you do that,
you know, now that they've come out, they did all these offices, it's wonderful.
I don't, but you also get.
Oh, do you? Oh.
I do enjoy it. And you go to Spanish show.
Hey, I know, whatever mom's wants, right?
New spot.
know.
amazing.
I don't
Just
support
pick
that.
them, support us.
It's funny because my mom was.
And then
She ran into some. That voice just like. I was one of yours. Yeah, it was awesome. Right? I guess they're moms, right? Oh, yeah. But he's not anywhere. He's your mom? Oh, okay. Oh, I know. Yeah. Is he your dad or is my stepdad? Is your stepdad? Yeah, I've known now.
I do have to leave the lounge. So we'll sit down and we'll.
As long as we can get like the lease and stuff, then I think. It was cool to the story. Like what I said. I sent the message.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there.
Okay, good morning. How we all doing?
Very good.
Good?
Good.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let's keep the fans guys out. Okay. So first of all, I want to thank you guys for showing up this morning and for being here. You know, I like to say that success is all about showing up. Whoopsie daisy. All right? 90% of success is actually showing up. And so the fact that you're here is a great thing, right? We're starting the new year off on a good note. And so I want to commend you for that. And I want to also kind of ask you to give me your undivided attention today. All right, there's a reason why you came out today. And if you're going to make that commitment of your time, the only way that you're going to really kind of get the maximum return, right, which is what you're looking for, is to just be present with me. So I'm going to ask you if you wouldn't mind grabbing your cell phone, just sticking it on silent or vibrate or what have you. I'd even give you a bigger challenge. I like that. Turn it face down, right? I challenge you not to look at your cell phone for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, because it's you want to be in the zone. I'm gonna give you guys some materials, but to be honest, you know, if I were to share everything that I had in my mind and my thoughts and everything, you probably wouldn't be able to lift it up. I'm not bragging or anything. I'm just saying the nuggets are in the details. Right? So even though I'm giving you some notes and you're going to have that stuff to take with you, you're probably going to get some nuggets that are not written in the notes. Does that make sense? Right? Who wants to help me hand these out?
I am his pet, so you better believe it. Others give me teacher's pet.
Okay, so for those of you that are joining us online, you don't have the benefit of being here to get the notes. So I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things for me. I'm going to ask you to send me an email, ericeaton@rollerpage.ca, and in the subject line, I'm going to ask you to put attended 30-day action plan. And that kind of goes for you too in terms of saying that you attended this 30-day action plan workshop. And that just helps me to kind of keep a track of not just who registered, but who actually showed up.
There's need to be handed out here. Individually.
Does that one come apart?
No. No.
Okay.
So just two, right?
One of each.
One of each.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more? Sure, my responsibility. Got mine then?
Yeah, I got yours, and just these three
Oh,
are
is
there.
it? Oh, it's two pages?
Yeah, just three minutes. Okay, well, now I'm gonna have to put your stuff More stuff?
Oh, we can get. Okay, all right. So now let me just kind of take an opportunity to introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. My name's Eric Eaton, and I've been a realtor like you guys, some of you for moons and moons and moons and moons. 32 of them, actually, to be precise. And so I'm here basically as a professional development trainer, originally connected with Roller Cage Connect Realty. Those of you who know we're more or less in the Toronto East End side of the city. And so I'm actually honored and thrilled to be here to share some of my insights with you. Those of you who've worked with me on a one-on-one basis know how we do what we do, right? I see some familiar faces in here, which is awesome. And so, just want to share with you that if you've never worked with me before, this could be an opportunity for you to get to know me a little bit better, and I can get to know you guys a little bit better as we go through this journey together. So hopefully, you're going to take some of the content that I'm going to share with you today, and then as we go through this over the next few weeks and months, I could probably help you to implement some of the strategies that we're going to be talking about. And you can generally do that by booking one-on-one appointments with me. I have an online calendar where you can book an appointment. It is one-on-one coaching with Eric.com, and you can certainly go there and you can certainly go. Yeah. Yeah, you can certainly go there and register if that's the case. All right, so we are ready to get started. Man, what a great group we've got here. I'm not going to ask you guys for, attendance and all of that kind of good stuff. Thank you so much, Heather. Let's just see. Oh, you've got those? Good. All right. Again, if you're just joining us online, shoot me off an email that says basically in the subject line that you've attended the 30-day action plan workshop. You're going to want to get access to our workshop materials right here. It is case sensitive, so bit.ly.com/30-day action plan 2020. All right, so we're ready to get started? Yeah? Fantastic. I have no idea where to do that.
Okay. Okay, don't worry.
Okay, all right. But I do get you. I'm feeling it too, so, but it's all good. All right, so. It's a brand new year. And we want to have the best year ever in our real estate career. All right? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Right? We all want to have the best year ever.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, there are some elements that we're definitely going to want to take into consideration, knowing to the fact that we want to have the best year ever. There's some planning and some preparation that has to come into fruition. And it really starts with really believing in yourself, right? Believing in yourself that you can do this business. By a show of hands, let's see who's been in this business for less than a year. Okay, all right. Less than 5 years. Okay, so majority, all right? So less than 5 years. So you've weathered the storm a little bit. You've had some ups and downs, some ins and outs, and so forth. And so the reality is that as I say, if you believe that you can do something, you'll be able to do it. And it's all really in our mind. And so what we want to do is we want to create an environment that is going to result in lasting changes, that's going to have us develop that mindset of an entrepreneur. Even though there are times I like to say that, yeah, sorry to disturb you. No worries.
Okay, thanks.
Even though I like to say that, as we all know, we're in business, being a realtor. Many times, though, it's almost as though, if we treat our business like a job, we'll get more results. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Right? Because being in business, there's no real accountability. No one to tell us, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to go here. Sometimes, when we're in a job, yeah, we don't make as much money, mind you, but when we're in a job, it's almost though we're more focused, right? Because there's that accountability, right? We've got to show up on time. We got to get our work done, and at the end of the day, we get paid. But the reality is this is a business. You're an entrepreneur, but you almost have to treat it like a job, right? And who are you going to be accountable to? Yourself, right? You're going to be accountable to yourself. One of the biggest challenges that we have is that accountability to ourselves. Some of the things we're going to talk about a little bit later on is, you know, in our goal setting and in our planning, when we say we're going to do something, is to actually do it and not become wishy-washy and say, oh, you know, I'll shift it down there and I'll do something else. Or we get a phone call and it throws us off of our plan. Or we say we're going to do prospecting for an hour and we do it for 10 minutes because we got a phone call and we dashed off and we went somewhere else. The accountability side of this business is so crucial because it's the mainstay of our business. It's what helps us to be successful. And so having that mindset of an entrepreneur is really critical. And we're going to get into some, obviously, goals, setting your goals, figuring out your passion, but your commitment to excellence. You know, I have to say that, you know, if you're going to do it right. Have a standard that you're setting for yourself in your business that it's up there. It's right up at the top. Yeah, I'm feeling you. Yeah. All right. Can you find some over here for me? Right? I had a slogan. I didn't come up with it, but it was, hey, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Okay. Don't be mediocre in your business. Right. We get paid a lot of money. We get paid pretty well, really, to pay attention to the details. And you almost want to be a little bit OCD kind of a deal, you know? Because trust me, if we don't pay attention to the details, that's when things go wrong, right? That's when we miss things that we shouldn't have missed, that can sometimes get complicated, that can sometimes cost a lot of money, that can cause us to lose faith or our clients to lose faith in us because we screwed up. Right? So, have a commitment to excellence. All right, so let's dive deep into some of these things. Oh, why is this? Oh, yeah, that's fine. All right, so in your workbook, you're going to fill in the blanks, so to speak.
Workbook here?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so if you believe you can, is it down?
Can't really see. I was thinking I might get Marty and
Yeah, maybe if someone could do something. It's a bit hot.
Let's just open the doors for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so if you believe, then you can succeed. And we've heard that phrase in so many different ways. As a man thinketh, so is he. Anyone read that book? No? As a man thinketh, so is he. I think it was Napoleon Hill. All right. We are what we think. If you believe you can or you believe you can't, guess what? You're right. Okay. And so, you know, we play a lot of tricks with ourselves, and sometimes it's in the very vocabulary that we use. Sometimes it's in the very way that we think in our mind. And if we can find ourselves, if we can catch ourselves in that moment when we're using non-productive words, when we're using words that sound like, oh, I'll try to do that. Or maybe I'll do that. Or if, or I'm not sure. They're not very convincing. Would you agree? Right? They're not even convincing to yourself. But sometimes we use these words without even thinking that we're programming ourselves to not actually complete a task that we said that we were going to do. And so it's really important how we speak to ourselves. Self-talk is very, very, very crucial. And if you're conscious of this and if you're aware of this, you'll see it in some of the conversations that you have with individuals. And the key there is to be aware, all right, and to kind of catch yourself, to not put yourself in that in that frame or in that mindset where it's inconclusive. All right, be certain, be committed, and speak from that authority position in the sense that yes, you are going to do this, and yes, you're going to accomplish that. All right, it builds your confidence, and you know, being confident is really one from a position of knowledge that you you know what you're talking about. Because you know what you're talking about, it makes you that much more confident. It's that preparation. It's you know, they say knowledge is power, but it's not even knowledge is power. It is that information that you not only know but that you use. And so it's all that balance, right? You know, it's having that balance. But it's certainly building your confidence when you have that knowledge and you have that belief. You're just going to move forward to accomplish the things that you want. When you're certain that you can do something, you're willing to take the risk, you're willing to try new things, and you got to be willing to change. And we're going to talk about some things that we can definitely incorporate into our lifestyle that is going to allow us to accomplish the goals that we're looking for. If you want more than you have right now, you must do something different. You know, they're saying insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? You know, and so you're here because you want to have a better year than you had last year. And so, you know, how are we going to know what do we need to do to have a better year than we had last year? Basically, we got to look at the things that we did and said, okay, what we did resulted in this. And if this is not what I want, then I've got to change what I did before, right? Finding role models who've already achieved the success that you've had is always key. You know, they always say, you know, take someone out who knows more than you, treat them to lunch. They'll be happy to tell you whatever you want to know, right? And so that's really key. Make a commitment. There's a big difference between being interested in something and being committed to it. When you're committed to something, it doesn't matter what it takes for you to accomplish that goal. You're going to do it. All right. When you're really committed to something, any way you want to say it's fine. Just pass that. So where you're at today is based on a couple of things. One is based on the decisions that you made in the past. And where you want to be tomorrow, where you can be tomorrow, is going to be based on the decisions that you make today. All right? So you want to take action. And as I said, you know, you guys showed up today. 90% of success is actually showing up, and you're here. Education without application is worse than worthless. I think I remember that from Richard Robbins. You guys familiar with him, right? And repetition is the master of skill. It's also repetition is, you know, like practicing, right? You know, they say practice makes. Although I like to say 2020 is the year of perfection, you know, perfect vision kind of deal. But there is no such thing as perfection. To be quite honest, practice makes improvement. You can always be better than you are right now. You know, there's a reason why the world's top athletes continue to practice. Why do they continue to practice? They want to get better, right? Even the person that runs, I don't know, what was it, Usain Bolt, right? Ran the fastest, I don't know what he did, 9 something or whatever. He's still trying to get better, right? Tiger Woods, miraculous comeback, yes? Any golfers in here? Would you agree? Won the Masters, was it last year? Right? And so, I mean, incredible. So, I'm saying that to say this. If you incorporate some things into your daily method of operation, if you incorporate some things into how you conduct your business on a daily basis, on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, that incorporates or that is consistent with you learning something. And if you made a commitment and said, hey, I make a commitment that I'm going to learn something new every single week. I'm going to learn something new every single week. I'm going to commit to learning something new every week. I'm going to commit to 1 hour of learning every single day. I'm going to commit to watching a webinar every single day. I'm going to commit to going on a podcast every single day. I'm going to commit at least 1 hour minimum to learn something new. Right? That, in my opinion, is practicing and honing your skills, where you're going to learn something that's going to help you to be better in your business. All right? So we're not looking for perfection, but we're looking for how can we get better in our business, right? The mindset of an entrepreneur is having a vision that creates a vivid mental change, right? So successful entrepreneurs are visionaries. They don't just wake up each day and see what happens. They plan and strategize. They got a crystal clear picture of what they want to accomplish, and they ferociously go after it, right? They've got a mental clear vision of exactly what it is that they want to achieve. You got to have the courage to be willing to try new things. And entrepreneurs are courageous, right? They not only do they lack fear, but what you do in spite of it, you not only grow if you're willing to try new things, but you can get outside of your comfort zone. You'll fail more times than you succeed, but get up again, dust yourself off, try again. This is the life of a successful entrepreneur, right? Who likes door knocking? Just a couple, all right? Who likes phone prospecting? Ooh, okay, all right, okay, all right. Who likes networking? All right, we love networking, okay. Well, you know, I mean, the key thing here is yes, you know what, we can do the things that we're comfortable in doing, but sometimes the challenge is doing things that we're not comfortable with, right? It's that development and learning that new skill set. Sometimes you're gonna have to push yourself to do the things that are uncomfortable, right? To do the door knocking, to do the phone calling. And it doesn't have to be cold calls, because once you develop some of the strategies that I'm gonna share with you, these are gonna be warm calls. You're gonna be calling people who actually wanna be called by. How do we know that? Well, we're gonna know that because they're gonna indicate that they wanna be called by. So it's not like picking up a phone book and calling people out in the blue. Never heard from you and you don't know you from a hole in the ground, but you know, there are gonna be opportunities that we can create where it will require you to pick up the phone and call, but they're not gonna be cold calls. They'll be nice warm calls, okay? All right, so discipline. Do what needs to be done. Successful people are incredibly disciplined. They're willing to do the tough stuff that others shy away from. They live by a set of self-imposed rules, and they follow those rules without exception. There's hard work. There's no easy button. The best entrepreneurs have got strong work ethic. They're usually the first ones in the office, last ones to leave at night. And they're driven by their goals and will do whatever it takes to achieve them. They live by the motto, if something is worth doing, it's worth doing right. Yes? What's your work model? What's your creed? What's your principles? What's your goal? What do you stand by? What are you known for? What makes you different in the marketplace? What makes you unique in the marketplace? What makes you different from any other realtor? We could even put that in a value. We could even put that in your value proposition. What is your value proposition? Right? You know, you sell homes faster than anybody else for more money in X amount of time, whatever that case might be. You provide an unparalleled level of service. Your satisfaction rating my satisfaction rating is 98% of my customer survey will give me a 5-star rating. What is your value proposition? What makes you unique? We talk about that in our quick start. Who's done quick start? Anyone here done quick start with me? Yes, just a couple of you. Okay. So we talk about having a unique selling proposition, and not just a unique selling proposition, but also, for lack of a better term, an elevator pitch, right? And so, who has an elevator pitch? Who has a 45-second blurb, 30-second blurb of why someone should hire them? If someone says, yeah, okay, all right, so tell me, why should I hire you? Do you have a pitch? Not a rambling on, but a pitch that is the same consistently day in, day out. Who has one? I'm not going to ask you to say it. I'm just asking. Who has one? All right. Okay. So do you see? So here's a scenario. All right. I'm going off topic here for a little bit, but I want to share this with you. Here's a scenario. Most of you put your hands up that you like networking events. Yes. So you're out at a networking event, and at your networking event, someone says to you, "What do you do?" What do you say? Huh?
Real estate sales.
Okay. Real estate sales. What do you say? Anybody else? Come on, guys. You're at a networking event. Someone says, "Hey, nice to meet you. What do you do?"
Help people.
Huh?
Help people.
Help people. Okay.
Business owner.
Business owner? Anybody else? Take a crack at it.
Investing in real estate.
Invest in real estate. Nobody else is going to say I'm a real estate agent? Who? Huh?
I said I'm in real estate.
Okay.
That's not unique.
Everyone and their grandmother has a realtor. Everyone and their grandmother has a real estate agent, right? What makes you different? Hey, Eric, so what do you do? You know what? I help people with what might be considered one of the biggest financial decisions they're making in their lifetime. And usually it starts with me getting to understand exactly what their needs are, their goals, their expectations. Usually I back it up with a written guarantee of service so they know exactly what to expect in the process. And then ultimately I ask them to evaluate me so that I know how well I did or didn't do. As a matter of fact, I have a 98% customer satisfaction rating from all of the clients that I've served with their real estate needs. Does that sound like the kind of service that you think someone that you might know would be interested in? Does that sound, yes, convincing? My value proposition means that it doesn't matter if I'm at a networking event or if I'm in my office and I get an incoming phone call from a sign call. If I get an incoming call, someone's called me up on a listing, and I can say, "Hey, great, thanks for your call. I really appreciate it. So what? So tell me a little bit about what was it about this home that caused you to call?" Well, we like to look at it from the outside. It's 2-story, it's a double car garage. Looks like it's in a really great neighborhood. They're great. Okay, all right, awesome, fantastic. I'm assuming that obviously you're out looking for a home, and I'm not sure if you've seen any other homes that you've liked, but let me just ask you, would it be okay if I share a little bit with you about how I can probably help you along this process? And you say, yeah, sure. And what am I going to do then? I'm going to say, great. Well, one of the ways that I work with my clients is I get to know what their needs are, their goals, their expectations. We sit together and we establish a plan to accomplish those goals. So typically, I back it up with a written guarantee of service. And then ultimately, I ask you to evaluate me so know what I did or didn't do. And as a matter of fact, I have a 98% customer satisfaction rating from the clients that I've been able to serve with their real estate needs. Does this sound like the kind of service that you'd be looking for? And what do you think they're going to say?
Yes.
They're going to say yes. So I'm sharing that with you to say it's very important to hone your skills. It's very important for you to have a pitch. It's very important for you to be able to identify what is it that you bring to the marketplace as a, I'm going to use this term, realtor, real estate agent. But you're not just a realtor and you're not just a real estate agent. And you don't want to fall into that trap of when someone says to you, hey, so tell me, what do you do? Oh, I'm a real estate agent. Everyone and their grandmother is a real estate agent. That doesn't mean anything, right? What do you do? Well, you know what? I'm glad that you asked, but I help people with what would be considered to be one of their biggest financial decisions they'll ever make in their lifetime when it comes to home ownership. And usually how it starts is, and this is so true, you can't start a real estate transaction, you can't start a real estate process unless you actually sit with that person and get to know them. Would that be correct? Right? You can't. So yes, I start by getting to know exactly what your needs are, your goals, your expectations. And you can't go any further unless you really sit with them and customize a plan that's unique to them, because they've got specific needs and requirements. So I'm just sharing that with you to kind of give you a light bulb moment if that's the case. Yes? All right? So make a commitment. I would write down in this section right here, make a commitment to develop your elevator pitch. What is it about you that makes you unique? What is it that you deliver to your prospective buyer or seller? And practice and hone that script, so to speak, so that you can use it, doesn't matter where it is. You can use it on a one-on-one basis, you can use it on a phone conversation, you can use it at a networking event, you can use it, doesn't matter where. That's gonna be your go-to. It's in your back pocket. You can pull it out anytime you need it, all right? Awesome. Okay, did I miss something here? Did I go to? Okay, all right, cool. All right, so attitude. Let's move on. Positive attracts positive, right? True entrepreneurs are positive thinkers. They don't see problems, they see opportunities. If you say you can, you can. And if you say you can't, you can't. Either way, you're right? Half of the battle is believing in yourself, okay? Half of the battle is mind games, all right? Patience. Patience, success follows experience, right? So successful people know that success follows experience. If it comes too quickly, it can leave just as fast. Creating a business worth having is done through a series of small steps forward every day. Give clients amazing service and your business will grow one satisfied client at a time. Can't stress that enough, all right? Can't stress that enough. Being patient is really important, all right? Wanting it for the client sometimes more than they want it for themselves. Right? It's not a slam 'em, wham 'em, bam 'em kind of fleece them and leave them kind of a deal, right? This is you're building a long-term career that what you do today should pay you dividends years and years and years and years to come. I'm amazed sometimes when I meet agents that have been in this business for 20 plus years, that have no database, that have no CRM, that have no follow-up with their clients, that have nothing. They've spent 20, 30 years in this business, going from one sale to the next sale, to the next sale, to the next sale, good, bad, or indifferent, right? But have never looked back behind them and have no repeat and referral business, right? And that typically happens because they just focus on themselves and what's in it for them. You got to focus on your client, what's in the best interest of your client at all times. As a matter of fact, we have a fiduciary role and obligation to do that, right? Because trust me, they can smell that commission breath from a mile away, all right? And if we're only focused on the money, we're probably going to do things just for the money that might not be the right thing, right? So focus on creating satisfied clients. Is there anyone here that's using a customer feedback platform system of any sort? No? How are you getting your testimonials? Asking for them? Do you have an automated way to get your testimonials? No? Yes? Rank my agent is one. Yes? Okay, any other one? Is there any other system out there? I'll give you one. It's called Real Satisfied. REAL Satisfied. Real Satisfied. Excuse me. realsatisfied.com. It's free for probably your first 3 testimonials, and then there's a cost to it. There's another one. Oh, not coming to me. But Google, right? You've got your, if you've got a Google business page, yes. All right. If you've got a Google business page, is one where you can get 5-star reviews from your past clients. Yes. If you've got a Facebook business page, who's on Facebook here? Pretty well everybody. All right. If you've got a Facebook business page, you should be asking clients to give you a review. And then, and also what you should also be doing is getting these testimonials and putting them on your website, right? But I think that the Google reviews one is turning out to be probably the best one by far, because it helps with your online ranking and so forth. Did I miss something? Okay. All right. So here we are. So give yourself a goal. All right. Give yourself a goal. How many testimonials do you have? How many more testimonials can you get? Is this a great opportunity for you to call up some of your past clients? Right? Do you have a Google business page? Set up a Google business page. Encourage your past clients to write a review for you. Give yourself a goal. How many happy, satisfied clients do I have that's giving me a testimonial? How can I increase that? If I've got 5 right now, how can I get to 10? If I've only got 1, how can I get to 5? All right? Humility. Be confident, but not arrogant. Man, isn't that a fact? All right? Successful people don't let their successes go to their head. They keep their pride in check. Ego is a silent killer. Treat others with respect and dignity. Because humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. Right? Thinking more about the other person. Thinking more about the individual. Thinking more about, and Richard Robbins says this quite often, and I really like it. And sometimes I catch myself when I'm doing certain things, and I say, oh, that wasn't the right way. Okay, I had the opportunity, I'd do it differently. And Richard says, and I'm not sure whether he coined this phrase or not, but I remember it more from him than anyone else. He says, giving starts the, can anyone finish? Giving starts the receiving process. All right? Giving starts the receiving process. And when you think about it, if giving starts a receiving process, it's more about you thinking about them than you thinking about yourself. It's more about you leading with value before you're asking them for something. You know, sometimes, I'm not saying any of you in particular, but, you know, if you think about some of the interactions that we have with individuals, we can catch certain things, right? You know, it's like the person that says to themselves, you know, they want to be heard, but they don't want to hear. I'm not sure if you interacted with anyone like that, but you're trying to explain something to someone, and before you can even finish explaining what you're saying to them, they're telling you their story, right? You know anyone like that? Yeah. Okay. And I'm just saying, hey, let's put the other person as the main focal point of who we want to really focus our energies on, right? Because it's all about where your energy flows, okay? It's all about where your energy flows. If you're giving someone, you know, great value, you're giving someone, you know, great advice, you're giving them, you know, great attention, you're being, you know, you're concerned about their needs and everything else like that. That's what we do, right? Full of empathy, compassion. We know we get the calls, right? Right? We get the phone calls. We get the calls from the clients with the issues and all of that. And you know, we have to be compassionate, right? We have to be empathetic. We have to have empathy. And so, you know, I'm just sharing, just saying, hey, think less of ourselves and more of someone else. It's really important, right? Integrity, always do the right thing. The best entrepreneurs choose their actions based on values, not personal gain, right? It's not about the commission. It's about how many people you can help, right? They do the right thing even when it means they forego short-term profit. Hey, yeah, you know what? I really don't think this, you know, hey, listen, I know it's your deal. You're making it happen, but I've got to tell you, you know, I don't really have a really good feeling about this one. I don't think this is really as good a deal as it might seem to be. I think you shouldn't pull the trigger on this one. Who said that before to their clients? We got to do that, right?
Listen, no.
Well, no, right? But we got to do that. You know, I had an incident, a scenario last year where we had 2 deals on a pre-construction. We had 2 deals, and we pulled the plug on both of them because it wasn't the right deal for our client. And I think they were paying 5 or 6%. So it's not about you know, you got to do the right thing for your client at all times, because it's all about the integrity, right? Setting goals. What inspires you? What drives you to get up early, work hard all day, go the extra mile for your clients, right? Depending on what point you're at in your life, depending on what goals you have, that's what's going to motivate you, all right? Some of us are looking for more security. Some of us are looking for more recognition. Some of us want more time with our family, more balance in our lives. Some of us are looking for those rewards and the plaques that we can hang on the wall. What's motivating you to have the best year that you've ever had in your real estate career, right? What is that? Is it more awards? Is it more time with your family? Is it that extra vacation or 2 per year? Right? Different vehicle, different home. What is it? What is it that's going to get you up early and keep you up late at night? I mean, like real late, right? Real late. What's going to keep you up? Like, you know, you're going to pull an all-nighter. You know, you're going to watch the sun come up in the morning. Who's done that? Not that many, right? Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes it takes, you know, you're pulling an all-nighter twice in the week because you've got something and it's just, you know, you've got to get it done. You know, you've got to get it implemented. You've got to get it fired up, right? So whatever it is, we've got to get out of our comfort zone, right? We've got to get out of our comfort zone. We've got to become uncomfortable. We got to do the things that we probably, you know, don't necessarily want to do, kind of a deal. But change is uncomfortable. And the only way that we can grow and have more than we have right now is to try new things. That's the only way that we are going to accomplish our goals, all right? 20% of change is knowing how, but 80% is knowing why. All right? Why? Why did you show up here today? Someone threatened you? No. All right? You showed up here today because you're looking for something new to implement in your business. All right? If you've got a powerful why, you can bear almost any how. Doesn't matter. You know, if you might not know how to do it, but you know why you want to do it, the how will follow. Right? Massive goals equal massive motivation. Big goals, big motivation. Are your goals exciting? Do they get you up early? Do they keep you up late? Do they inspire you to do everything possible to achieve them? Most people's goals are to pay the bills. My goodness, how boring is that? Right? No, well, I mean, we've got to pay the bills, right? That's saying, but more than that. So make a public announcement. You know, there's something about a public announcement, right? There's something about putting it out there. You know, I put it out there that I want to have a healthier lifestyle this year. There are some bad habits that I have in the closet, so to speak, that, you know, I want to make sure that I get rid of them. One of them is really terrible eating habits. Like, eating habits are notorious. And so, do you notice what I'm doing today? Huh? This is a protein shake with blueberries and oh, so good. Last night I had a salmon salad. Awesome. 2 nights in a row. Wow, that's pretty good. No, but really, you know, and I put it out there, right? I put it out there that, hey, I'm gonna make this change. And now I'm accountable. Right? I'm accountable to the people that I put it out there to. Right? You know, I even took a picture of me on the scale. Whoa, that was crazy. Nah, man. But, you know, what public announcement are you going to make? What public announcement are you going to make about your business and the goals that you want to accomplish? Who's going to hold you accountable? Is it going to be a work partner? Is it going to be a family member? Is it going to be a coach? Is it going to be a mentor? Who's going to hold you accountable? Because you must do that. There's no point in doing all of this if you don't do that part, right? Because that's the key right there. We spoke about accountability earlier on. It's like the boss at work, right? Okay. So take immediate action. All right. A goal without a plan is destined to fail. Desire alone is not going to help you to achieve your goal. How much money do you need to earn to achieve your goal? How quickly do you need to earn it? What activities do you need to do every day? What resources will you need to achieve your goal? You'll never achieve your goal unless you are 100% committed to it. No ifs, ands, or buts, right? It's like if you said, hey, you know, my goal is to do this, and I need to do this on a daily basis. And those things that you needed to do, they were like a listing appointment. Would you cancel a listing appointment? No. But yet we cancel the things that we say we're going to do time and time and time and time again. Those little things that we say that we're going to do, right? The 1 hour of prospecting every day, the reaching out to my database and talking to 10 people every day in my database, those little things are like listing appointments. But many times we cancel those things for, you know, we got the phone call, right? We're heading to the store. Hey, let's go grab a bite to eat. You know, let's do this, let's do that. And it takes us away from what our daily method of operation should be. All right. So try to be consistent. Try to be committed to those small goals. Because I tell you something, it's not the big goal. It's not the ultimate goal. And whatever that ultimate goal is going to be for you, and everyone's goals are going to be different, obviously. But it's not the ultimate goal. If you said, you know, my ultimate goal is I want to do 10 transactions this year. It's not focusing on those 10 transactions. It's not focusing on those 10 listings or those 10 buyer deals, right? It's scaled down from that. It's, you know, well, how many appointments do I need to go on to get those 10 listings? You know, how many people do I need to talk to get those 10 opportunities? You know, what do I need to do on a daily basis to get to those appointments? So, and that's where the focus is going to be. But you must visualize yourself achieving your goal. How many of you went to the awards presentations recently? Yes? Okay, awesome. How many of you didn't go because you weren't getting an award? Come on, let's be honest. No? None of you said, well, I'm not going because I didn't get an award. I've heard that before. Who's heard that before? Yeah? I hear it all the time. Oh, I'm not going. I didn't get an award. I'm not going. That's so not correct. Sometimes you got to go to see what it's like. Huh. Okay.
Take immediate action.
Okay, right? Sometimes you got to go to see what it's like, right? You don't just jump up and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to go buy that car. No, you're going to take it for a test drive, right? You're going to see how it feels. You're going to sit in the seat. You're going to say, oh, how does the steering wheel feel, right? No.
I just said I like that.
You're not a, right? You're an exception. Okay? All right? But yeah, you got to visualize yourself achieving the goal, having the success that you're setting yourself up for, right? Commitment to excellence. Build a reputation for quality, right? Right? You'll dominate your market if your commitment to continuously improving the quality of your service every single day in some small way. When you increase the quality, you have more satisfied clients. Clients will wait in line to do business with you and even pay you more for your service, right? Make tiny improvements daily. Every day, look at your business, ask yourself, hey, how can I make this better? Small refinements made daily begin to create compounded enhancements at a level that most people would never dream of. So you want to commit to raising your standards. Always look forward to the next level. Increase your value 1% every day, and the impact will be mind-blowing. And you'll ask yourself, hey, what did I learn today? What did I improve today? Okay? The challenge here with this, I'll tell you what the challenge here is with this is. The challenge with our daily method of operation. Here's the challenge. We're not tracking what we're doing. Right? That's the challenge that we have in our business. We can mosey along day in, day out. Yeah, get up, do this, do that, do the regular routine. You know, if we get a phone call, yeah, great, we get a phone call. You know, if we go out on an appointment, great, we go out on an appointment. Right? But are we systematically, strategically tracking what we're doing on a day-to-day basis? You have a plan on a day-to-day basis, right? Up by 9 a.m., I'm ready to rock and roll. Maybe it's 8 a.m. for some of you. Maybe it's 7. I don't know. Maybe you're the, there's a book. Is it the 4 a.m.? 4 a.m. day, 4 a.m. morning, 5 a.m., something like that, right? Where the saying is that you get more out of the first 4 hours in the day than any other part, while everyone else is sleeping. Huh?
That's my husband. He's up at
4 a.m. All right. So the thing is, right? The thing is, are we tracking what we're doing? Because you can't fix what you don't track. You can't fix what you don't measure. Right? And that part I know is a challenge. But depending, you know, if you're systematic and you're using systems and you're following the protocol of those systems, it can track what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Even if you did it for half the day, you made a commitment and you said, hey, I'm going to work in my business. I'm going to work on my database every day, 4 hours minimum. Every single day, for 4 hours minimum, I'm going to be in my database. I'm going to be in my CRM. And I'm going to be making phone calls. I'm going to be tracking how many phone calls I made. I'm going to be making notes. I'm going to be booking appointments. And that's what I'm going to focus. I'm going to be in my database every single day for a minimum of 4 hours. If anything else comes up on my radar, I'm not available. I'm in an appointment. I'm in an appointment with myself and my business. and I can't be disrupted. And if you did something like that, that system would track and it would show you, hey, how many calls did you make? How many appointments did you book? How many presentations did you go on? How many buyer contracts did you sign? How many listing contracts did you sign? How many year-end reviews did you do? And you'll see a very definite pattern, right? You'll see the more activity that you made, boom, the more appointments you had. The more appointments you had, boom, the more listing contracts you signed, the more buyer contracts that you signed. It'll be so evident that it'll be that thing that will kind of give you that ha-ha moment. They'll say, yeah, this is where I need to be spending my time. As a matter of fact, we used to, way back in the day, when I got started in this industry, I had the good fortune to be mentored by a really great broker. It was actually a Royal LePage broker right now, actually. And we used to have these 6 things that we had to do every single day. And if we had those 6 things done every single day, our day would be done by 1 o'clock. And that was $100,000 a year back then, minimum. And those 6 things were, and I can't remember them exactly verbatim, but they would be like, and back then we didn't have computers and all that kind of stuff. It was like pre-computer age, what have you. But classifieds were a big thing, and we'd grab the classified newspapers and we'd call up the FSBOs, right? We would go door knocking expireds. We would have to call our database and speak to at least 5 people. We'd have to send 5 thank you notes after speaking with them, kind of a deal. And so those were those 6 things. And we had to go out and view properties in our farm areas. So we all had our own designated farm areas. So we had to know the inventory in our farm areas. We had to prospect and call FSBOs and expired listings. We had to reach out to our database. And we had to have at least 1 appointment booked that night for that night. So those 5 or 6 things done every single day. We'd have that done by 1 o'clock, boom, we'd be off. The rest of the day was our own until we had our appointment that evening. Which means we had to have an appointment. We had to have 5 appointments, minimum 5 appointments every single week. But it came from doing those daily activities, all right? So, focused on solutions, not problems. You're going to be solution orientated. A lot of times we focus so many times on the things that didn't go right, Oh man, I was supposed to get this deal and they didn't get it, man. They said, and it just goes on and on and on and on. Way back in the past, way back when. Some of these stories are like 20 years old, right? Just can't get over it, okay? But yeah, we want to be solution orientated. That should be the focus. Wherever you try something new, problems will arise you've never dealt with before. Expect it. Learn and grow from it. Refuse to live in a state of worry, right? Some of us are so caught up with, what if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? What if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? We're so caught up in the negative side as opposed to the positive side of it. No wonder sometimes we can't get stuff done because we hold ourselves back, right? I think we spoke about self-talk is so critical. What we say, what we think is what we believe, what we say, and can sometimes really come true. All right, so improve your communication. Words do matter, and so continuous improvement includes changing the way that we use language, and we've kind of spoken about that a little bit, right? Is to change sometimes the verbiage that we are using. Have a strong desire, have a strong emotional connection to the words we use every day. When you are talking with clients, the words you use will alter the outcome. Instead of saying, the deal's falling apart. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it sounds like World War III, right? We could use phrases like, we've hit a little speed bump. Right? Sometimes the words matter because people's perception of what we're saying is really critical. This is obviously going to alter how clients will respond, so don't be an autopilot in your conversations, though. thoroughly thoughtfully choose the words that we use. And I'm going to challenge you today after this session. Don't just take these notes and stick them on the shelf. I challenge you to keep them out and read them every single day. Not all of them, all pages, but even if you read one page a day for 30 days, help you to stay on track, all right? Because daily success it's a ritual, right? You're gonna start your day out right, focus on what's positive in your life. We get what we focus on. Starting each and every day, focusing on success. Every morning when you first look in the mirror, ask yourself, what am I happy about in my life right now? What am I excited about the day ahead? And what am I committed to improving today? Choose to be. Don't worry. You remember that song? Huh? Wasn't it crazy when that song came out? Wasn't everybody happy? Come on, everybody was singing that song. Who doesn't know that song? This guy, come on, man. You don't remember it, huh?
Before his time.
Was before your time. Yeah, okay, all right. Don't worry, be happy. I mean, we do have a choice, right? At the end of the day, we do have a choice. How do we want to be? How do we want to show up, right? If you can choose to feel happy for no reason, just have a very positive mental attitude, right? Just choose to be happy and not grumpy, right? Just choose to be happy. And you know, there are some people that it doesn't, you know, the world could be caving in on them. They're happy. They've got the most pleasant demeanor that you would ever find. You know, they're not, you know, singing the blues. And we've all got challenges, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But how we decide to respond to it and how we decide to make that have an effect on us is really up to us. So, maximizing referrals. How do we maximize referrals? Well, typically we rely on friends to make recommendations or to recommend services. And generally, when we like someone's service, you know, we like to brag about it, right? And that's what you want. You want your clients to brag about you. You want your friends to brag about you, all right? Referrals are your best quality leads. It's almost half of all buyers choose an agent based on a recommendation of a friend, neighbor, or a family member. And usually they've already accepted you. They, you know, it's not even about competition or anything else like that. Typically when you're referred, when you're referred to someone, it's almost like 50% already a done deal, right? You just got to show up and be a nice person, all right? Referrals are less concerned about fees and less concerned about commissions. They're less commission conscious. They're more focused. They're more trusted because they've been referred to you, right? And generally speaking, they trust the person that's making the referral. Because they trust the person that's making the referral, you basically come to them through good hands, so to speak. However, don't take that for granted, because generally, even if you are referred to someone, before that person picks up the phone to call you, what do you think they're going to do?
Talk to other agents.
Probably talk to other agents. What else?
They're going to judge you on their.
And Google you.
They're going to Google you. Now, it's not that they don't trust the person that referred you to them, right? Because we already said that. They trust the person. They like them. But they are more than likely going to Google you. Has anyone Googled themselves? Yeah? And how are you showing up right now? Do you like what you see? Would you like to change what you see? You think that the way that you're showing up right now in the global Googleverse, so to speak, the way that you're showing up in the Googleverse, do you think that it could be improved? Yeah? You think we'll do some improvement, right? I think most of us would agree that our online presence could do with some improvement. And that's really, really key. I'm going to really recommend to you that you take a really good look at your online profiles. One of the things that we talk about in our quick start is we talk about the importance of your online presence, the importance of your online profile. Bearing in mind that, yes, we're all under the Royal LePage brand, but you are your brand, okay? How are you showing up, right? Are you showing up in a, one day you're looking like this, and the other day you're looking like this? Because your profile pictures are not consistent. Are your profile pictures consistent everywhere you go? Are you using the same profile picture on your LinkedIn, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your website? Or are they different? Are you sending a consistent message, or are you sending a mixed message? Right? Is your Facebook personal profile in violation of Facebook's rules and regulations because you're posting all your real estate stuff on your personal profile? Or are you posting your real estate business on your real estate business page and keeping your personal profile for personal stuff? Because trust me, everybody knows you're a realtor. Sometimes we think that just posting stuff out there is the holy grail, and it's not, right? It's being very selective in how you do it, and it's all about attracting people to you as opposed to repelling people from you, right? So your online profiles are really crucial. I would put a double asterisk beside that one, because if your goal and your objective is to get more referrals, and you know that these people are going to be going online to check you out, then your objective should be to fix your online profiles ASAP. All right, we know that, yes? Bingo. Okay, so when we get referrals, it's easier to get appointments, right? They're likely expecting your call. Usually it's a warm call instead of a cold call. It's easy to build rapport over the phone and to book the face-to-face appointment. One referral leads to future referrals. Because obviously positive word of mouth is your best marketing. The longer you've been in business, the more happy clients you're going to have and add to your contact management system, your CRM, your database. And then obviously it's easier for your business as well. But I want to share with you that be careful of the type of referrals that you get, because the type of referrals could lead to a duplicate of referrals that is not necessarily the best kind of referral. So I'll give you an example. Right? Put a value on the service that you provide in the marketplace, then you want that value to be up here. I don't think you want that value to be down here, right? Don't discount your service. Don't discount your value, right? Have a commitment to quality. Have a commitment to exceptional service. And there's a lineup of people out there who would love to be able to be in the positions that we're in, to do what we do. Don't take that for granted. Yes, we know that there are, bootleggers out there and doing all different kinds of things and all different kinds of services and who knows what for a little less than nothing. We know that that's out there and it's always going to be a part. But strive to be an exception to the rule and to offer maximum service for maximum fees. I'm not a big fan of discounted services, right? I was out the other night and someone's trying to beat me up on commissions, and I'm like, I'm not the one you should be trying to beat up. And what are we talking about anyway? What are we talking about? We don't even have a deal on the table, right? What are we talking about? We're talking about 1% of what? Who knows, right? Maybe you should be paying me more because I'm going to be doing such an exceptional job. What if I get you more money than you want? right? Or let's talk about it when we've got a deal on the table. Once we've got a deal on the table, then we can see where we're at. But I find far too often we sometimes tend to feel that the only way that we can get through the door, right, is to offer some kind of a discounted value to our services. And if we do that, guess what's going to happen when we get a referral? They're going to expect the same thing too, right? And then if we continue to do that, guess what kind of business we're going to end up with? We're going to end up with a business that's based on discounted service. And I don't think that at the end of the day, when you look at your trade record sheets, right, and you look at the deals that you've done, and you look at what you've actually left on the table, I don't think you'd be pretty happy if you took a look at that and you started adding all of that up, and you said, oh my goodness, I can't believe that I did that, right? So I'm saying that to say, hey, be careful of the type of seeds that you sow, because that's the type of fruit that you'll get back, right? The seeds that you sow is going to bear the fruit of that seed that you sow. So, you know, as difficult as it might be, and I know that it's a very competitive industry, it's a very competitive business out there, but I think at the end of the day that you're gonna, you want to be comfortable with yourself. You want to be comfortable with your business. You want to be comfortable with the kind of business that you're building and growing, and that's what that you'll ultimately get, right? So I think that is key, right? Hosting special events is a great way to stay connected with your sphere, with your database. And so your new motto is service after the sale, right? What am I doing with my clients to show them that it's not just about the commission? Because trust me, they believe that once we've made the deal and we've gotten paid, that's it, right? They feel, because obviously we're not with them all the time, every day, every week, every month, and all that. You know, it's sporadic, but they do feel a lot of times we're just in it for the money. But what happens when you've got a client and you've had that client for 5 years? A lot of you said you've been in the business for 5 years or less. What happens when you've had that client for 5 years and you've consistently showed up long after the commission is gone? Is that powerful? Right? And sometimes you've got to let them know that. Sometimes you've got to let them feel that, hey, can't believe it. Helen's still here long after the fact. Right? Unlike the person who did the deal and they're gone and they've never seen them again. That person was in it just for the money. All right? So what you want is you want to have that service after the sale. So who's doing client events? Anybody done client events? Anyone here? Client events? Yes? Yes? Want to share anything?
Well, I just did for the first time last year. I did for the Christmas.
Beautiful.
I just moved into a neighborhood and I just saw a lot of suppliers. It was great.
Fantastic.
Just a 2 hours.
Isn't that amazing? Right? It is so powerful. And you don't even have to talk about business unless they bring it up. And even if they do bring it up, try to be kind of very light about it and not let it kind of take over the entire evening or what have you. But just to show that appreciation, all right? So if you've not hosted a special event, will you host one this year? Yes. Okay. All right. Host a special event. As a matter of fact, make a commitment that you're going to go out there, whether you're going to have it at your home or if you're going to have it at a location, go out there and make the commitment. Boom, I'm going to have this event. It's going to be in October. We're in January right now. Yeah, it's going to be in October. So I got 9 months to plan. But I've secured the location. I've given them my deposit. It's done. We're locked in. There's no way out. And then plan around it, right? get your list of who you're going to have, who you're going to invite, who you're going to attend. It's a great conversation to have on the phone with them. Hey, by the way, as a matter of fact, you know what? In October, we're going to have an event. I'd love for you to put it in your calendar from now. Save the date. I'd love for you to be there. I'll follow up with you when I have more details. Right? So, treat proven refers to special dinners. Do something a little extra for those who send you a lot of business, a lot of referrals. Go the extra mile to make them feel special. Invite them out for special dinners, lunches, just to say thank you. You know, it's great, right? Because and you know, it doesn't even matter whether the referral turns into a transaction or not. The fact that they thought about you enough to send you a referral is worthy to be recognized and for them to be treated special. They've done their part. It might never turn into a transaction, but that's not their fault, right? They did the most important thing, which was to refer you. And I'm going to share this with you because I think this is really important. You might want to make a note of this. Educate your clients on how to send you referrals. Right? Make it a part of your vocabulary that when you're speaking with your clients and asking them to send you referrals, you want to speak to them in a way like this. Hey, Joe, listen, I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you. And, you know, my goal is to not only meet your expectations, but to exceed your expectations. And part of the reason for that is that I'd like you to feel comfortable in referring your family or your friends to me. Does that make sense, Joe? Yeah, sure. So, Joe, here's how this will work, right? When you come across someone that you know who's talking about buying or selling real estate, here's what I'd like you to do, Joe. I'd like you to take control of that situation and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to have you speak with my realtor. Okay? His name, her name is, great person. I'll have them give you a call. Because, Joe, here's what potentially could happen. You could give them my name and my phone number, and they may never call me, Joe. And it's not because they don't want to, but sometimes life gets in the way. They get busy. This happens, that happens. They write it on a cereal box. It goes out in the garbage. Who knows what? But here's what I can tell you. When you call me with your friend's contact information or you text me with their contact information, however you want to send it to me, I'm going to make sure I put that in my contact system. I'm going to make sure that I follow up with them very professionally, as you know that I will. And it doesn't matter whether they buy today, sell today, tomorrow, next month, next year, whatever. I'll always be able to go back and see that they were referred to me by you. And obviously, as you know, I love to show my appreciation for clients that help me to grow my business. And so I look forward to being able to do that for you. But the key part is, Joe, is for you to contact me with their contact information, and then I'll take it from there. Is that okay? See, you got to explain to them because they don't know. See, they don't know the process. And if you don't explain to them how to send you referrals, guess what? They're out there waving your flag, right? They say, hey, I know the greatest realtor. Yeah, she's awesome, right? Yeah, here's her name and phone number. You know, like the guy on the street with the Caesar's pizza, right? You know, he's got the sign going back and forth, right? Hey, come on in, buy pizza, right? You walk in to buy pizza. They don't know whether you came because of the guy on the sign or whether because you just felt like you wanted to have Caesar's pizza. It's like the person who calls you and says, hey, yeah, you know, I got your card from somewhere, but man, I don't remember where I got it from. How do you know who to thank? Right? How do you know that, hey, this is the person that you should be thanking for the referral? And it has happened, right? It has happened. It has happened where, you know, I sold someone a house. I didn't know that they were referred to me by this person, and it came up in a very uncomfortable set of circumstances. And the person said, "Oh yeah, but I gave that person your card." Whoa! They told me they didn't remember where they got it. And the problem was that they got the card some months prior to, or who knows how long. Any of you got stack of business cards just kicking around? And you don't even know where you got it. Some networking event, somewhere along the line. Don't know who gave it to you, kind of a deal. So it's really important that that you share with people how to actually send you business, right? Because that is key. If that person's out there waving your flag and telling the whole world about you, but you never know that they gave someone your phone number or that they gave someone your business card, they never called you to tell you that they gave that person your business card, how are you going to tell them thanks? Right? They're just out there doing their thing, thinking that you're going to get back to them, and you never do. Right? So that's the key. All right. One of the key things to do with your clients is to provide them with annual market updates. Right? Annual market updates helps you to stay face to face with your past clients, offering them annual updates to review their current market activity. Even if they don't want to meet with you, the fact that you offer this value added after sales service is going to help you win points with it. You see, it's one of these things where if you're using a systematic way of running your business, this is like it's a gimme. This is something that it's a no-brainer, because part of your database management. Who's using the CRM? Let's just see. Okay. Well, all right. Let me ask the real question. Who's not using a CRM? Let me see. Be honest now. Come on, you can put your hands up. Some of you won't put your hands up no matter what I ask, right? Okay. All right. So here's a scenario. You're using a CRM, which is your customer relationship management system. You should be using a CRM. You should be using a database management system. It is your business. It's where you show up for work every single day. All right. Your CRM should have your client's move-in anniversary date, just as your client's information should also have their date of birth, so that you can help them to celebrate these two milestones. You can help them to celebrate their birthdays. Who doesn't? Everybody loves celebrating their birthdays, right? And not the fake Facebook happy birthday stuff. Like the real physical phone call or a birthday card in the mail or, hey, let me take you out for lunch kind of a deal, right? The home anniversary date is actually very critical, because a lot of people make home buying or home selling decisions based on their mortgage renewal date, yes? The mortgage comes up for renewal. Why? They moved in May 2015. May 2020, they're going to be faced with a mortgage renewal. Generally, their options are going to be, I'm going to either take some money out and pay bad debt, right? You're going to pay off credit card stuff. A lot of people do that, yes? Or they're going to take some money out, they're going to go invest in some real estate. Or they're going to make a decision, you know what, time for a bigger house or a smaller house, what have you. You should know that. You should know that mortgage renewal date. That mortgage renewal date should be part of your process. When you sold them their home, you should have their mortgage details, because one, it was either your mortgage broker that they used, which you probably should be, or you know their mortgage commitment letter that they got, or their pre-approval or what have you. And all of that data should be in your database. You should be notified 6 months prior to the fact, a special notification 6 months prior to, hey, mortgage renewal coming up 6 months from now. It's probably time to have that conversation. All right, it's probably time to have that conversation. Maybe they're looking for an investment property. Maybe they're thinking of downsize, upsize, whatever the case might be. But you don't want to miss out on that because you didn't keep track of that important data, right? So I'd have everybody in my database with their home move-in anniversary date, irrespective of whether they were my client or not. If they're in my database and they own a home, I've got their home anniversary date. because I've adopted them. Their previous realtor has flown off into the sunset somewhere, right? The fact they're in my database and I'm sending them marketing materials and I'm keeping them up to date with what's happening in the marketplace, I'm going to make it my point of duty that I give them an annual market update. And not an annual market update at the beginning of the year. You can't send everyone a market update at the same time. Doesn't work. If you try to do that, you'll be inundated. So it's got to be strategically done based on their actual moving date. All right. So in your database, if you did a check in your database, let's say you did a run in your database, and you said, okay, how many people do I have in my database with a home anniversary date in the month of January? Or in the month of February. So I'm going to plan for February. So I'm going to do a search in my database. How many people do I have with a move-in anniversary date in the month of February? Okay, I've got 10 people with a move-in anniversary date in the month of February. So I've got market updates to do in February for those 10 people. So these 10 people are going into my calendar, right, with a notation that I need to do a market update for these 10 individuals. Is anyone doing that? No? So you want to put a double asterisk, right? How many people in my database do I have their home move-in anniversary date? If I don't have their home move-in anniversary date, this is a task, right? So this is the task that I need to get done. Just like the, hey, I'm gonna do a client appreciation, month of October. It's Thanksgiving, by the way, in October, yes? It's a great time to show thanks. Yes?
Do you send the market update a few months prior to the anniversary date or the month of the anniversary date?
I'm typically sending it in that month of the anniversary date. I do them in that particular month. So whatever the month prior to, if I did it in January for February, or if I did it in February, and I'm usually ahead a week or two or what have you.
What CRM do you prefer?
The CRM question. Well, CRMs come in all different shapes and sizes, and I use about 4 different CRMs right now, and I use them for what I consider to be, you know, the value that I'm looking for in that particular CRM. So, for example, I use BombBomb because for the video aspect of BombBomb, I'm using that. I use send out cards as a means of being able to send my clients real time greeting cards and birthday cards and home moving anniversary cards without me having to stand up in lineups at Hallmark and without paying $9 for a card, which is crazy. And it's automated. So I can schedule all my cards for the entire year up front. I use Agent Locator as my CRM from a lead generation point of view and from a texting lead nurturing standpoint. But my go-to CRM, my you have to earn the right to get into kind of a deal is Exact Contact. I'm a big fan of Exact Contact. I believe it has all the bells and whistles and more to help you to run a business. So that's, I've taken it from to top.
We have our own page, right?
Yes.
But I really haven't talked to many people that use it.
Yes.
So I don't use it, so I'm wondering why. You know what I mean? It's like big company, right? You think it would be better.
What do you use?
I have used Exact Contact. I use Agent Locator, and I've been thinking about BombBomb.
Okay. All right. Well, again, you know, all CRMs have they've got their good points and their not so good points, right? So a Smart Studio definitely has its benefits and it has its value. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But it's like it's like most things. You know, you've got to see the value in it for yourself. right? The reason why I use multiple systems is because, this does that better than this, and this does that better than the other. But from a complete package point of view, I like Exact Contact. I should also tell you that we are coming out with a new product. As you probably know, we have a new product that's going to be launching probably in the spring of this year called RLP Sphere. And RLP Sphere is going to be pretty snazzy. But again, I think it's going to be leading more along the lines of lead generation, lead nurturing, website solution, social media integration, things like that. And it probably could lend itself, more into, business analytics in terms of transactions and so on and so forth. But one of the things I like about Exact is that I can do letters through Exact, right? Which is pretty powerful. So it's not just about sending out email. And I should also state that direct mail is king again, and we should be putting letters in the mail to our database. We should be sending letters in the mail, not just sending email. The open rate on email is only 20-25% if you're lucky, and that's from people that already know you. But people are inundated with email, but yet we still do it. It's just part of the process, right? So great question. Thanks for asking that. All right, so secrets for more referrals is the fortune is in the personal contact, right? What you want to do is you want to under-promise and you want to over-deliver. Under-promise and over-deliver. I'm just going to scan through this a little bit because we're running a little bit behind. You want to show appreciation with small thank you gifts, right? What are those small thank you gifts? And one of the things that I do, even though I'll send out a client, even though I'll give my client a closing gift for the transaction, like every client for that year will get a enjoy your first Christmas in your new home gift kind of thing. Now you can't afford to send every client a gift for Christmas, but for those clients in that year, they'll get a nice gift in their home for their celebrating their first Christmas in their home, right? So, and then it doesn't have to be anything big. I've got a gift that I give away, which is a value added. Anyone heard of Corporate Card Plus? Yeah. Corporate Card Plus is a great system to implement. But here's the deal. You don't just take your Corporate Card Plus card and just give them out to people. I would let someone earn it or request it. I say, hey, listen, would you like a card that could save you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars on everyday purchases? And I was like, yeah. I said, okay, great. What's your home mailing address? I'll mail it out to you. And I said, okay, all right, my home mailing address is blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, great. All right, awesome, fantastic. And let me just ask you, what real estate plans do you have for the next 12 to 18 months? Buying your first home, selling to upgrade, selling to downsize, buying for investment, or refinancing your mortgage? And I asked him those 3 simple questions in a survey. Anyone ever heard of SurveyMonkey? All right, free. I use SurveyMonkey. I asked them a survey. I survey them by asking them those 3 questions. And so 1, I'm giving them a gift of value, and I'm getting something back in return. Richard Robbins says you got to. Giving starts the receiving process. All right? So I'm giving them something of value. I'm getting something back in return. All right? The law of reciprocity is that you get what you give. Right? You get what you give. You give value, it comes back to you. Okay? Stay connected after the sale. Not sure why all my slides are messed up, but service after the sale triggers referral. You've worked hard, you've offered exceptional service, the deal is closed, you've been paid. This is when most agents typically walk away and focus on getting other opportunities. But not you. You're gonna make sure that you pop by on moving day with refreshments. Maybe it's pizza, maybe it's KFC, maybe it's who knows what, maybe it's a case of beer, right? But you're gonna make sure that you pop by on moving day with refreshments. And you know, just be prepared to deal with the unexpected, right? In a positive and upbeat way. You know, because we all know that stuff can go crazy on moving day, yes? Right? Was that the stove that we bought? Yeah, that was the stove. Right? Okay. It's always hectic. Stop by moving day. These are the little things that leave the lasting impressions, right? Hire a handyman. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. Hire a handyman to remove their moving boxes. They got a ton of stuff that they've moved in, right? That they just don't know how to get rid of. What's it going to cost you? To get a handyman to pop by, pick up the moving boxes, take it to the dump for them. That's pretty exceptional. Would you agree? Send We've Moved cards to their friends. And now this one might be a little bit difficult or hard to do because although we're in the database management side of business, a lot of people are not in the database management side of things. They might know how to call their friends and reach their friends, but just like many of us, that we have our cell phones filled with people's phone numbers and names and phone numbers. We might know where they live, but don't ask us their address. We know how to get there. We can probably recognize the door, but I don't even know the street. I know how to get there, but don't ask me the name of the street. But yeah, if they do have it, it'd be a great way for you to instantly put 25, 50 people into your database, right? Agree to host their warming party, housewarming party. Be the host. It is probably not as expensive as you might think. Or you could even meet them halfway. Hey, listen, I'd love to split the cost of your housewarming party with you and be your host for the evening, right? Great things that you can do. Asking for referrals, it all starts when you first meet with your potential clients, and the best time to ask is when the deal goes firm. Don't wait until when the deal closes, because again, the height of their excitement, the peak of their excitement is when, hey, boom, they beat the other buyers out, they were successful, they got the deal, passed the inspection, financing is done, they're happy, they're excited, boom. That's the time to get your testimonial. That's the time to ask them for their for the referrals. If you're gonna send them something like the Real Satisfied that we spoke about, that's the time to send to them. And actually, Real Satisfied's got a really cool way of presenting you. It does a really nice letter and branded and everything with your photo and logo. It even makes it sound like it's coming from your brokerage. You know, it doesn't even sound like it's coming from you. So it's a really great concept. So again, best time to ask is when it's firm, right? Ask friends for referrals, make a list of all of your friends and family and send them a letter, right? These people know and love you. So a better way to ask for referral in your business. If you haven't kept in constant contact, now is the time to get back in touch. Make a list of everyone in your sphere. Parents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, close friends, acquaintances from your social club. Ensure that you have all your contact details in your CRM. Mail them the referral get-in letter. Now you should have the referral get-in letter. Who doesn't have it?
Oh, sorry.
Who else? But they're not the same.
They're not the same, so.
Okay, right.
So let me do this one first.
Yes. Okay, so your referral getting letter. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Is the other one?
Yes, one is for friends and the other one's for past friends. All right, so this referral getting letter. Just so I can share with you, and by the way, I should also share with you that I'm going to be giving you access to all of these resources. And so one of the things, I'm going to mention this again for those of you who weren't here at the very beginning. I'd like you to please send me an email. This is probably about the only time I'm going to recommend that you take your phone out and use it. And that is to send me an email. And my email address is Eric Eaton at royallepage.ca. Eric Eaton, that's ERICEATON at royallepage.ca. And what I'm asking you to, in the subject line, just put attended 30-day plan. Attended 30-day plan. And I'm going to make sure that you get access to the resources. And so this letter, it's in a Word format, so obviously you can edit it and change it and do whatever you like. But the concept is pretty key. Hey, listen, I'm writing to tell you some exciting news. As you know, I work for Royal LePage, the best real estate company in the area. They've added some amazing tools that make the home selling and buying experience better than ever. And you can actually say this because we are going to be launching a new platform. We're going to be launching a new platform. And this is going to make the home buying and home selling process even a whole lot better. Combine that with the fantastic market conditions, business could be better. I owe it to my friends and family to offer you the latest and most innovative real estate services. There's too much to tell you in a letter, so I'll be contacting to see when it'll be a good time to pop by for a quick visit, right? I appreciate the opportunity to share all of the great services I offer. I offer to help you with your next move or to help your friends as well. I look forward to catching up soon. So the key to this, here's the key. The key to sending this letter is to mail it. That's the key to sending this letter. The key to this letter is not an email. The key to this letter is taking it. Obviously, you're going to put it in a nicer format. Probably, I mean, I've used maybe 20 point on this. You probably use like 12 or so. But the key is to have this printed on your stationery. Who's got stationery? Letterhead, their own letterhead? All right? For those of you who do not, so I want to share this with you. It's not enough just to have one of these. Right? It's not enough. Just having one of these does not put you in business. Right? Stationery has to be an integral part of your business. Because the key in business is to elevate your communication patterns. right? Is to take your communication to a whole nother level. So your communication should consist of, hey, just got off the phone with someone, send them a thank you note, right? Send them a Timmy card or a Starbucks card for their referral or their suggestion or a great conversation or whatever the case might be, right? Sending them stuff in the mail. Here's why it's important for them to receive stuff in the mail. If you're sending them real estate related information and they are reading it while they're at work, or they're reading it when they're in their home, which location has a greater impact? When they're reading it at home, right? Because you're talking to them about real estate related matters and they're in their home. If you're talking to them about real estate related matters and they're at the bar having a drink, or they're at work in a meeting, or they're at the ball game with their kid, how focused are they with the content that you're sending them? Not very focused, right? And this is why mail is king again. We're inundated with email. And you got to find a way to get through to your database. You got to find a way to get through to your contacts. And the way to get through to them is in their homes with direct mail, right? So this is key. So you want that printed on nice letterhead. Then what you're going to do is you are going to follow that up with phone calls, all right? And obviously this is illustration purposes, and you know, you can use it verbatim. You can change it if you don't like it. If it doesn't flow with you and how you do what you do, that's perfectly okay. I think the key here is to take action, right? The key is to take action and then to implement these follow-up strategies. So you've got a sample follow-up phone call to friends. You've also got a sample follow-up phone call to clients, right? To past clients. And some of this could be very true to you and your personal situation, circumstances, whatever that case might be, all right? Okay, so again, you're gonna get access to this entire file that has all of this content in. The key thing here, right, is you send them the letter. The key thing is, if you do not follow up, then it's almost pointless, right? You want to make sure that you follow up with a phone call. Reconnecting with your past clients, right? So you worked hard to get them. Now let's keep them, because this is key, all right? These people have used your service before. They're happy clients or your best referral sources. Go through your current client database. Get it organized. If you haven't been in touch for a long time, pick up the phone and call, right? Again, like I said, maybe you've got an event coming up in October. You want to start calling them and letting them know from now, right? So here is your 30-day action plan summary. Your 30-day action plan summary. Oh, you've got it in your workbook. Okay, all right. So your 30-day action plan. The very first thing, okay, and if you don't have this, the very first thing you want to do, you got to have a CRM. You got to have a database system. These things, it's very difficult to do this without a CRM system. You definitely want to have a CRM system in place. You want to master using that CRM system. You want to learn everything that you possibly can about that CRM system. They probably got video tutorials and things like that. And I can't tell you how many times agents they buy everything, right? They buy. Hey, listen, we are notorious for buying stuff. I'm kid you not. We are notorious for buying stuff. We're even more notorious for not learning how to use it, right? We buy stuff that we haven't got any clue how it works. We're just hoping it's going to take off and fly by itself, right? So make a commitment that, hey, listen, I'm going to go watch a tutorial on how to use this stuff. I'm going to go watch a tutorial. Remember, I started out earlier on and I said, make a commitment. Spend at least 1 hour per day to learn something new. 1 hour is probably about as long as most webinars are. But these video tutorials for most CRM systems, they're only like 5-6 minutes each one, right? 4 or 5 minutes each one, because they're just giving you a little snippet of whatever that particular item is that they're focusing on. Set production goals and your plan. And by the way, I am going to be giving you a business plan today. But I'm going to follow up with you for that business plan in the light of time and everything else like that. But I am going to give you an outline of a business plan. And I'm going to either be doing a webinar or I'm going to be doing a recording, and I'm going to send you that recording on how to use this business plan that I'm going to give to you. All right? But it's very key for us to have one. If you don't already have a business plan for this coming year, there's a very simple way that you can create one. You've all got access to the RLP network, yes? So you've got access to Smart Studio. At the very least, you can plug into Smart Studio and say, hey, here's my income goal for this year. I want to do X. I want to do 100,000, 500, 400, 300, whatever. I would do 50,000, whatever that number is. You can tell Smart Studio, this is what I want to do. This is what the average sale price is of my transactions. This is my commission split. This is my tax rate. And it will tell you how many transactions you'll need to do to hit your goal. It'll tell you how many people you need to speak to hit your goal. All right. So at the very least, you can have that. So put an asterisk right beside number 3, please, and write Smart Studio business plan. Even though what we're saying here right now is that you want to set goals that you are going to you're going to review your business plan at the 1st and 16th day of every month. And really, your business plan should be focused on, see, if I had a business, if I went to a bank to get a loan for my business, what's the first thing that the bank's going to want to see? They're going to want to see a business plan, all right? And how detailed is that business plan going to be? It's going to be detailed right down to the how many sales am I going to make every single month, all right? Your business plan should be detailed to how many people do I need to speak to every single month. As a matter of fact, every single day. How many people do I need to speak to every single day? How many appointments, which is more important, do I need to have every single week? And then based on what your closing ratio is, if you know that your closing ratio is, hey, you're hitting your, 60%, 80%, 40%. You know what those numbers are. And if you don't know, this is what's really important here, number 4. Number 4 is really important because it is take inventory of your past performance. How did you do last year? Okay, so last year you did 20, 30, 40, 50 deals, whatever that number is, right? Where did those deals come from? What percentage of your business came from past clients or referrals? What percentage of your business came from farming? What percentage of your business came from open houses? What percentage of your business came from advertising, promotions? Where did your business come from? Are you tracking that? Right? And this is where a CRM system comes into play. I love Exact Contact for that because every single transaction in my Exact Contact, I can show you a source of where that transaction came from. And a source for where that transaction came from is a good indicator to me as to where I need to focus my time and my energy in terms of continuing to grow that business. All right? So take inventory. Develop your sales skills for setting client moods. Calculating lifetime value. What's the lifetime value of your client? Lifetime value of your client is how many transactions you've done with that particular client, how many transactions or referrals did they send you, right? And what does that equate to, you know, and so this is why we want to, you know, my wife says you should romance your prospects. She doesn't mean that I should, like, you know, get romantic with them, but you should romance your clients in the sense that when you look at the lifetime value of your client, when you look at what that value represents to you from that one particular client, like, what are you doing to nurture that relationship, right? Okay? Because we can afford to do it. We can afford to nurture that relationship in a very special way, all right? Import all your contacts into your CRM, categorize and update your contacts, send out the home anniversary messages, update your LinkedIn account, and actually all your social media, as a matter of fact. Find your clients and contacts on social media, develop your sales skills for active listening. Ha, ha, ha. We touched base on that a little bit earlier on. I think there's a reason why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, yes? And we should listen twice as much as we speak. Yeah. All right? Because we do get those signals, we get those signs. Marketing campaign preparation, run a campaign on Facebook, email newsletters to your database. So these are all things, and it's giving you some detailed description in terms of how you should do this. Posting on other social media networks, developing your sales skills for designing offers, scheduling your perfect week, all right? Scheduling your perfect week and contacting 30% of your database. What does your online reputation look like? So you want to track that. Set up a Google My Business page. Very important for you to do that. Get your Yelp account. Send requests for online reviews to your database. Find the gaps in your database. Schedule 5 meetings with professionals. Find 1 meetup or networking event. Anyone here familiar with Meetup? Right? It's great concept and great events that you can tap into. You can even create your own Meetup groups and events. Right? So these are things that you are going to want to go through, read, adjust, put into your daily method of operation, and more importantly, these 2 pages should have been stapled, but I want to give you this. Some don't, some might not have it. All right, so here's what's most important, and we talked about this a little bit earlier on. It's very hard, right, if you do not track your activity, right? If you're not tracking and measuring your activity, then you won't see where you need to apply more effort, right? So how many hours of prospecting are you going to do this week? How many client appointments did you schedule? How many client appointments did you attend? How many listing agreements, buyer agent agreements, listing sold, and buyer sales? This is really important because you'll be able to see exactly how your business is doing if you're able to track and monitor what your activity has been like, all right? I'm also going to share with you, sorry, my dad. Okay, Helen needs a little help. Can someone else help me, please? Yeah, 1 of each page. 1 of each page? Yeah. All right, so what I'm giving you here right now even though I've given you a 30-day outline, I'm also giving you an action plan for week 1. So you've got an action plan for week 1. You've also got an action plan for week 2. You've got an action plan for week 3 and an action plan for week 4.
Everybody have week 1 and 2? No.
No.
You guys don't have that?
Might be one or two.
Okay, we'll pass it down. That one had three. Yeah, I do have more. Does everybody have 3 and 4? Okay.
All right, so
For yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. Good.
and so if you have a business card that I can get from you that you'd like to share with me, would be great. Don't go just yet because I'm going to give you the last couple pieces. I just want to make sure that I get it from our marketing department. Thank you. Here's the last one.
So this is different, yes, so this table is different.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things I want to share with you is this, is that a lot of you have got contacts in your phones. And one of the biggest challenges that we have is how do we get our contacts from our phones into our database, yes? And how do we go from just a name and phone number to a name, phone number, email address, home mailing address, birthday, home moving anniversary date, yes? Because that's where we need to go. We need to go from just the basic information that we have in our phones to a full-fledged contact information that we can physically mail to. And so I found that this is by far the best. Here's one, Taylor.
Oh, okay.
They're both different. All right. So I found that this is probably one of the best scripts. Why? Because I wrote it. All right. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. All right. You want to be able to call people in your database. You want to be able to call people in your phones. And sometimes these are going to be some very uncomfortable conversations because we've not spoken to them. All right. We've not spoken to them in a long time. And so one of the things we want to do is, hey, we want to kind of cut through that ice, so to speak. Hey, how's it doing? How's the family? How's all that stuff? Great. Hey, listen, not sure if I had a chance to share with you, but hey, I've started a new career, or I'm excited about my career at Roller Page. And so I wanted to ask you a huge favor. Now, when you ask someone a huge favor, what do they typically do? What do they say? They say, sure. What is it, right? If you ask someone, hey, can I ask you a huge favor? They're not going to say no. They're typically going to say, sure. Yeah, what is it? And you're going to say, great. Who do you know that's talking about real estate right now that I could help? which is a very different question than saying, who do you know that's thinking about real estate? They don't know what someone's thinking. But who do you know that's talking about real estate that I can help? And so they might say, hey, listen, nah, I don't know anyone right now. Say, okay, well, listen, great. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the opportunity to help them if you do come across someone that's talking about real estate. But the real question you want to ask is, would it be okay if I kept you up to date with the real estate market in your area? And what are they typically going to say? They're going to say, yeah, sure. And you're going to say, okay, awesome. Now, here is the problem. You know where they live, but you don't know their address. You know they live in Mississauga, right? You know they live in Richmond Hill, yes? Right? You know they live in Toronto, right? But you don't know their address. Am I right? Okay, here's the key. Richard Robin says, giving starts the receiving process, all right? So here's how you're gonna give. You're gonna say, okay, fantastic. Listen, I'm gonna send you some information on your local area. You are given, right? I'm gonna send you some information on your local area. What's your home mail-in address? Notice I didn't say, hey, okay, where do you live? Because do they sound different? Where do you live and what's your mail-in address? One sounds a little bit intrusive, right? Where do you live? My goodness, I haven't spoken to you in years. All of a sudden, now you got your real estate license. Now you want to show up on my doorstep. No, I don't think so. But if you say, what's your mail-in address? What is the perception? The perception is you are going to send them something in the mail, right? And perception is people's reality, right? So you're going to send them something in the mail, which you are going to send them something in the mail. Before you do that, you're going to say, okay, fantastic. Okay, great. By the way, what's your best email address? You know, the one for important information, right? For family and friends. And it's almost a chuckle. It's almost a laugh. And I'm going to share this with you because this is real. Do not take for granted that the email address that you have is their best email address. Because how many email addresses do you have? Who's got at least 3 email addresses? Let me see. 4, 5, 6. You get the picture, all right? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get their best email. Even if you've got an email address, don't take it for granted. They've probably swapped out of that one and gone into something else. They still got it, but it's not the one that they check the most, right? Okay, great. Okay, great, fantastic. Okay, now here's the ultimate question. The ultimate question is this, and you're almost hesitating to ask. For those individuals in the room like me who can remember guys like Columbo. You know Columbo? He's the guy who's walking out the door and he gets this epiphany that he's got that question he's got to ask, right? Well, that's like you. You're going to, it's not like you've rehearsed this or anything, but it's like, you know, you're almost hesitant to ask. And it's like, you know, Joe, man, I really appreciate the time I spent on the phone together and I can't thank you enough. You know, something's come across my mind. You might not have even thought about this, but hey, listen, let me just ask you anyway. Look, if the timing was right for you guys to make a move, when do you think that would be? Because here's the plan. Everyone in your database should have some timing dated motivation of when they plan to move. Everybody's going to move. Some are going to say, oh, you're going to take me out in the box. Some are going to say, oh, you know what, we're not going to move until, you know, when the kids graduate from school. Some are going to say, you know, a couple of years, you know, we got to get into high school for Joshua. And we're probably, you know, we like this high school up in Thornhill, and, you know, it's got really good ratings. And we're thinking about, you know, 2 or 3 years, we're going to want to relocate there. You should know that, right? And so if someone says, hey, I want to move in 2 years, then you should put a timer, a reminder in your CRM. In a year from now, I want to start this action plan, right? If they say a year from now, you want to say 6 months from now, I want to start this plan. So whatever time they give you, you want to make sure you start that, activate that plan in half the time. So again, this is a script. You can use it for door knocking. That's just a little bit of a variation that I've given you. I've also shared with you the beginning of your goal setting, all right? So what goals would you go after? If you knew that you could not fail, right? If you knew that you could not fail, right? What goals would you go after? Okay? All right? This is something that we're gonna go through, but I would suggest to you that you get this ready at some point in time, even before I send you out that video, right? Give yourself to dream about what goals that you go after. Set a timeline for each goal. Choose the single most important goal to achieve in the next year, right? What does that look like? I've lost, where is it? Oh, 2 pages, okay. All right. Number 4 is, what kind of person do you need to be to achieve your goal? What character traits do you need to be demonstrated? And what immediate action will you take starting today, right? What's gonna be your most immediate action? When I leave from here today, I'm gonna put this into action immediately. And what roadblocks could get in your way? It's really important for us to know what's the dream stealer, right? We all got these things that kind of get in the way that causes us to go off track. So it's important for you to be able to identify them. The last thing is, you've got your business plan, right? Now it's blank, and that's cool. But I'm gonna show you how to actually complete that. So that's the follow-up that you're gonna get from me. I'm in the process of recording that video right now. And so once I get it completed, I'll shoot it off to you, and you have something that you can work through. But again, in the meantime, as I said earlier on, just simply go to Smart Studio and get yourself a 1-page business plan, all right? Because that's critical. Again, I want to thank you guys for showing up. You guys have been awesome. I really appreciate it, all right? Hopefully, I've met my goal, which was to under-promise and over-deliver. Did we do that?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, guys. Mm. Mm-hmm. I don't have another thing booked yet. I did one in December, and this was the one that we did here now. But very well attended, I must say. That quite important. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I appreciate all your help. Yes, no problem. Yes. Oh, nice. Wonderful. Well. Okay, all right. Nice to see you. Oh, wow. Yes. Yes, so just email me, right? And just say, I want to set up a one-on-one, and I'll respond at the time of the meeting. You just go to my calendar.
Yeah.
All right? Really? Really? I appreciate it.
You mentioned corporate.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I can give you my plan. I can give you my plan. It's a no-brainer. So first of all, here's what I do. I don't just arbitrarily I just don't arbitrarily give them out to people, because here's the problem. They don't activate them. Okay, so that's the one. All it looks like is just a fancy business card, which is what some agents use. So what I do is, they have to earn it right again, because again, I've given it this perceived value. So I ask them, okay, alrighty, okay, take care.
Thank you.
Take care. Yes, yeah, I'll do that. So, again, they have to earn the right to get it. And so when, no, excuse me? Okay.
Or is it enough that I?
Yeah, your card is, all right?
See you later.
All right.
Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Okay, take care.
So what I do then is, and I have a strategy of how I even distribute them. So for example, I'll do things like, that's not like a whole marketing campaign, right? Because for me, it's a gift. I'm giving you something. So even over Christmas, hey, really appreciate it. I got a little Christmas gift for you if you like. Just click on the link, boom, click on the link, take them to my survey. The survey says, hey, how would you like to save $100 million from, restaurants, travel, hotels, this stuff. So they say, yes, I'd love to. I say, great. What's your mailing address? And they go, okay, boom, boom, boom. And by the way, they can only see one person in the time. And I said, okay, great, boom, boom, boom. I said, okay, final question. What real estate plans do you have for something? Yeah. Okay. And they'll tell me. And then some of them are going to skip, some of them are going to answer, but you're going to get that. But then what I do is, I then go online and I activate the card. Right. Do all of that stuff off the back, right? Right. Maybe no, you don't do that because the numbers are printed. I go online, I register because I've got their contact information. I put in their first name, their last name, their email address, and all that kind of stuff. I create the username and password for them. So the username becomes their cell phone number. No, the username is their email address, and then the password is their cell phone number, no dashes. And what I do is I have a letter, right? Then I go into my exact contact. I pull up my letter template that I have for it. I put them into my exact contact. And then I print the letter and the envelope. And then I put that card in the sleeve that it comes with. Stick it in the envelope, with the letter, boom, stamp in the mail.
When they get it, it's already charged.
It's already activated.
You're not activating, take it.
Get their contact information. And in the letter that I send to them, I give them a little blurb of, hey, this is, I use the card and I save 50%, blah, blah, blah.
Now, the value in the card, if you just go online, I might be technical. It's like, there's not a lot there.
Yep.
But is there a lot there that I'm not seeing, or, like a little off here?
Well, there could be more.
Because
Right?
they keep telling you can add your own. You go to a vendor.
They're creating a format now, and that's what you do, right? I mean, yeah, there could be more, but let's face it. I mean, look, I use it for Ripley's, believe it or not. My family came from the UK the other day because that's where I'm from originally. They came, we went to Ripley's, everybody got discount, I've used it a couple times for hotels. Whenever I travel, Park and Fly, I use it at Park and Fly. I've used it at Swiss Chalet. Like, I mean, yeah, there's not, like, everything is
But it's
in
still
there.
pretty good.
Of course. And again, you know what? It's the perception. It's that process. And even if you go through that process and you get a lead, or someone who has said, yeah, hey, I think I want to refinance or want to invest or want to find out what's going on. That's where it's at.
Well, that's great. I actually sent you an email. It probably came out from some
Doris.
but I put regarding this course. What do I do with my 500?
Bingo.
So you'll see
I'll
that.
get you on that.
All right. Well, thanks again.
Appreciate it.
It's great.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
It was good.
Let's go to Washington.
That business plan,
Mhm.
is that on an Excel spreadsheet or anything by chance that can just populate itself, just put the numbers in?
The one that I gave you?
Yeah.
No, it's not. No,
Hired.
it's unfortunately just a written format. But I'm going to show you how to do the calculations.
Yeah.
Would be easy. The easiest one is the one in Smart Studio.
Yeah.
If they do that.
No, I just.
It's pretty simple. Hard part is to-
Of course it is. Of course it is. The hard part is just staying committed,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That is the hard part. You know?
Yeah, it was fine. It was good. It was definitely,
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, it's like as I said, you know, these little things are like
Actually, probably
like
wasn't.
mini-
I
they're
don't know
like
food I had to actually
appointments
buy
that we
for
just
alcohol.
you can't reschedule.
Probably not as cheap as I'm thinking it
If
is.
we just because we have enough hours in the day.
So I just wanna.
We have more than enough.
We have it, right? We have it. It's just making that commitment. If this was our job, if our job was to sit at our desk, if our job was to sit at our desk for 7 hours a day, right? And we made 100 grand, who wouldn't want that? Right?
It's like when you're
Who
starting
wouldn't
to
want
work,
that?
it's like.
100 grand a year, you're at your desk, you're managing phone calls, you're making phone calls, you're doing customer service, you're doing this, you're doing that, boom, you're off at 5 o'clock. Who wouldn't want that? We got X factor of that, right? We don't have to be at our desk for 8 hours a day.
The biggest problem that
What
I've
is
had, and probably had is up and down,
I see my world, what is that?
just trying to create some sort of structure so that you know you're creating a business and not just hit and miss and, throw the shit at the wall, see what sticks, and that's just not a business. And I even looked last year, and I said, last year was actually, a couple of my deals closed at the end of November, so I didn't end up with the award, but it was still a good year.
Yeah.
And, but, then I went back and I said, what could we have? Closed, double. And I'm like, that wasn't part of the business plan. That was just more luck than brains, right?
Yes.
So I will use your stuff, I appreciate it.
Well, listen, man, I'm here if I can help in any way, shape, or form, or what have you.
Great. Okay, thanks, Eric.
Why we're here.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a good
I
call.
don't do all that.
Speech, and it was good.
You like it, huh?
Much. I love it.
I don't use
Excellent.
all that.
Wonderful. Appreciate it. Thank you. Let's do that. Okay. Okay.
But there's some changes, like when you do amendments, it's not, do you see amendments on here?
Yeah, it's so funny that corporate card, because I think it's a brilliant idea,
It is.
but then I had them all and I'm like, I still don't really know how to effectively use them, so that's actually,
And then the
that
bottom.
would be very
is where you
helpful,
put the
yeah.
tweets and the pages.
Well, I'm going to share that plan with you,
It's just weird. It's just.
and
I don't know if that was a king online, but. I don't know if
I'm going to
that's-
share that plan with you. And I
All
tell
right.
you,
Thank you.
oh, you're very welcome. Oh, lunch looks great.
I'm ketoing, it's all.
Oh, no.
That's all that counts, man. Yeah. So, yeah, you're gonna like that plan.
Well, it's something that's right there.
Do you still have Exact? Are you still using it?
Well, you know what, I send out Morris marketing every month to probably 100 different contacts.
Mhm.
I'm not using that right either, because I'm sending it, into this vapor, and I don't really, do people really appreciate it? Do they care? So like, but Exact is, is part of that.
Yes.
So I had it, and then I thought I was going to use Royal LePage, but I don't think it offers enough. So I was thinking of going back, because then it's easy. I already know how to use it. Right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I really like it, and for me, it offers, pretty much everything that I need in that system. And what's key is that if you use it, it just helps to identify where your business is. And you spoke about building a business and maybe even having a saleable business. Then that can show, hey, during this year, this is where our business came from. This is how much came from our past clients, referrals, et cetera, our database, what have you, kind of a deal. And this is what I believe that my business is worth. Here it is, right? Pay me, right? You know, I think, you know, from an exit strategy point of view, no, you couldn't want something better than that.
Iron, thank you.
Eric?
Alrighty,
Take care.
Good
nice to see you guys. Everything is well?
Absolutely. Everything's as usual.
Fantastic.
Yeah, implementing something
Good
out
stuff.
today. That's well, one thing. So
All right,
one thing at a time, though. That's how it goes.
that's how it is, man. Take care.
Take
Bye
care.
now.
The problem with a lot of the stuff that come down here for is just isn't practical.
Yeah.
It's not applicable.
Yeah.
It's like great ideas like Richard brought us, great ideas, you know, all kinds of stuff, but, you know, for people who are not yet, you know, aren't there yet in terms of the business, right?
Yes.
You grapple with what should I be doing?
Exactly.
Like there's so many friggin' ideas. Like, my wife will say, what are you doing today? I know I've been busy all day, but what have I really been
Yeah.
doing?
Well,
Nothing.
and I'll tell you what the number one focus should be. Let me tell you what the number one focus should be, right? The consent to keep in touch script and taking our contacts from our phones to a real database, fill in all the holes kind of a thing. That's the number one.
How much do you spend, or do you do lead generation, lead generation?
I do.
What do you, I've been doing it I was doing it, got sort of fed up, which you shouldn't do, you should stick to it. But anyways, I've been doing it for about 4 months now, and I think I'm spending about $250 a month.
Yeah.
What do you think is a reasonable number? Do you think? I mean, there's probably people spending $1,000 or more.
I think it's all across the board. And there are some people who are doing deals in their first couple of months. And there's some people who haven't done any deals in a year.
Yeah.
Right? So
You gotta have the scripts and know how to reel them in.
yeah, but here's what I say. Right? Because I get this all the time. So I do quick starts, so I get a lot of brand new agents starting and everything else like that, right? So here's the deal. I think it would be a crazy idea to go out fishing and not have a net to put the fish in and catch. And I see a lot of agents all the time spend all this time prospecting, but they have no system like CRM type system. I know you can use Agent Locator, but just saying in general, but really have no systematic way of nurturing the leads that they generate. And you can't treat all leads the same because they're not all the same.
Yeah.
They all need different types of nurturing. You can have those leads who won't respond to phone calls, you know, who don't reply to emails, but they're the texting people, they're the Facebook Messenger or what have you, right? So you've got to have different systems or different follow-up sequences with different type of people. But beyond a shadow of a doubt, the CRM is your net. CRM is your hub. It's your. I would spend again. I would spend that time, you know, calling my database, getting them out of my phone into my CRM, getting their first name, last name. I want to say social security, but getting their first name, last name, their email address, their home mailing address, knowing their home anniversary date, look them up on Geo Warehouse. I would spend my time filling in the holes in my database. I would identify who the homeowners are, who the renters are, because you can't send the same information to everybody. You can't tell the homeowner about first-time home buyer or the first-time home buyer about selling his house. So I'd identify who the people are in my database. I would create that follow-up to keep them up to date with what's happening in the marketplace. And everybody that owns a home, that sees a house goes up for sale on their street, wants to know how much is that house going for, right? So if I'm your past client, I shouldn't be getting that information from Joe Blow. I should be getting that information from you. And you don't want me to go call the agent on the side, because once I call the agent on the side, I'm now in his system, right? And he's going to tell me how great he is. And hey, if I buy it through him and not another agent, the whole story, right? So we have to be proactive, and even in a very simple concept. So when I got started with Agent Locator, for one feature, because back then I had real web solutions, right? Crappy websites. I got involved with Agent Locator for one feature. You know what that feature was? It was a feature called Street Match. And back then it was an a la carte. It was a separate, it wasn't bundled in with everything else. Back then it was a standalone feature. I remember it was $19 or $29 a month that I was paying for that. And I felt like a kid in a candy store, because here I had the ability to notify my past clients when a property came for sale on their street immediately, right? They didn't have to go call the agent, they didn't have to go to somebody else. And that email was wrapped in my branding and everything, because I'm a big believer in branding. So it was wrapped in my brand, so it wasn't just a plain Jane email, right? And I love the fact that when they open the email and they click, I get notification, right? That they connected with me. And also, I love the fact that if one of my past clients listed their house with somebody else, I got notification too. Because there's nothing worse than at the end of the year, you're cleaning up your database, you're sending out calendars, and all of a sudden it comes back. Holy shit, they sold the house in another fault, right? So I got hooked up with Agent Locator for that one feature, which was Street Match. Now, if you don't have Agent Locator and you want to do something similar to that, then I would even just use Trev. I mean, we typically only send listings to people who want to buy, but we should be sending listings to our past clients to notify them about the house they want to sell on their street. Not because they want to buy it, but just to notify them. So I feel that if we spent that time with the contacts that we already have, who already know us, like us, and trust us, and we're not going at them from hey, do you want to sell your house? No, okay, next. Do you want to sell your house? No, next. Do you want to sell? That's archaic. That's old school crap. That stuff doesn't work anymore, right? It's got to be coming from a position of, hey, how can I serve you? How can I help you? How can I keep you up to date? Hey, no big deal, no commitments, no obligation, whatever. I just want to serve, right? And so I find that script works. And if we spend our time doing that, filling all the holes, plugging all the people into our database, we'll get busy. And we'll get busy providing them with that. And by the way, they do the best letters. Morris Marketing, they've got that down pat. I've used Top Producer, their letters crazy, they're not that great. I was a Top Producer user for the longest while, so but Exact Contact, their letters are fantastic. Okay, so that's what I would do. And as far as the leads go, with Agent Locator, I just find that they're not responsive. People are not answering their phone. But I would focus on those people who they keep coming back.
Yeah, there are some actually, and the ones that actually have to put the phone number down.
Yes.
Like the other ones, some of them actually, they say, oh, don't delete anything. But I've gone through, some of them are like really deleted because they're never.
Yeah, I would just put them as garbage.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, just put them as garbage.
Anyway, well, thanks so much.
You're very welcome.
It was nice
All
seeing
right.
you.
Pleasure's mine. Take care, guys.
We'll see you again.
Okay, for sure.
Enjoy the rest of your day and drive safe.
Thank you. You too. Bye now.